In the midst of social distancing and business lockdowns, a freelance writer and a graphic artist bought a bus, converted it into a tiny home on wheels, and moved out of our 4-bedroom house. 1 year later, we downsized to a Chevy Express. Now we travel between Texas and Pennsylvania from April through November while exploring small towns with rich histories. In the winter, we hunker down in Texas in our schoolie and dream of our next big trip.
We're Alan and Teresa.
And we're rolling with our gnomies.
All right, we're here in Staunton, Virginia. Be sure to call it Staunton. It is not Staunton. There's a U in it, Staunton, but they pronounce it Staunton. That's what the locals call it. And we're going to walk around town here and see what they have to offer. We're in a section of town here called Newtown in the downtown area, their historic district. There's some beautiful buildings here. Right now we're in Newtown, and we're going to look at the first site, which is across the 6th Street here. This is Stonewall Jackson School, or at least it used to be. It was the first public school in Staunton and remodeled in 1913. And interesting little tidbit, President-elect Wilson Woodrow stood here to watch a parade in his honor in 1912.
Interesting. It's a beautiful, beautiful stucco building.
Yes, and it's not even the most beautiful building in town.
No, no.
It's beautiful.
We've seen other ones.
There's some really cool stuff here. Now, there's Trinity Episcopal.
And that would be
here
right
behind
here.
us. And it was built in 1855. The first Augusta Parish Church was built on this site in 1763. The present church is a great example of early Gothic revival architecture and boasts 12 Tiffany Studios windows.
It's a gorgeous building.
It's a beautiful building.
But it is not the prettiest church I've seen.
It is not the prettiest church we've seen.
It is not the prettiest church I've seen in Staunton.
Yeah, we've walked to get here. We walked past some beautiful churches.
It's a side view of Trinity Episcopal Church.
And there's a cemetery in there.
The
Really
church body was founded in 1746, the sign says. And it's got a brick retaining wall. Because Staunton is on a hill. Every part of it is on a hill.
Look at these headstones. That beautiful tree.
Just absolutely gorgeous. Oh.
John Howe Pate. Nice.
I don't know who he was, but he lived from 1778 to 1847.
He sure did. Died 2 days before his birthday. Now, here's the parish house. Yeah, Trinity Parish House. Built in 1872 in the Gothic Revival style. Virginia's first parish house overlooks Trinity's churchyard with its many old gravestones. The rear addition to Trinity Parish House dates from 1924.
Wow.
You can see up the stairs here. That's beautiful.
That is just absolutely gorgeous. Now,
so this building here is thought to be the oldest unaltered house in downtown Staunton. Simple vernacular dwelling, has board and batten siding and scalloped trim under the eaves, and the original floor plan is still intact.
wow. When was it built?
1854.
Wow.
Thereabouts.
But, y'all, these buildings are just truly, and that's
the backside of the
backside
parish.
of the parish house.
That's amazing. That's a huge parish house.
It is. Not even sure what a parish house is, but
That's normally where the either the priest or the groundskeeper stays.
wow.
Now, we just crossed over into a part of town called the Wharf. We were in Newtown, now we're in the Wharf.
It's just truly
So
a
this
gorgeous town.
set of brick buildings here,
Is the next one we're going to talk about?
built in 1893.
Yep, it says 1893 up there at the roof line.
Yep. This is where Dr. S.P. Height made his patent remedies, including the famous Height Pain Cure, which claimed to cure everything from headaches to gangrene. Note the painted signs, an early form of advertising.
Right.
So we walk through. Yeah, it says 1893 up at the top.
Yeah, it sure does. Right up there.
I'll get a better view
Yeah, I'm going to go.
across the street.
Or from this side. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is just awesome.
Yeah, so you can see the painted signs on the side of the building.
Yeah. You have to look close.
May not see it in the camera, but they're there.
I think you can.
Oh,
but,
the
yeah.
buildings, yeah.
It's the same building.
So
Yeah.
these are called the Wharf warehouses.
Warehouses.
Built between 1870 and 1910. The district once bustled with the activity of farmers, wholesalers, and grocers. Sturdy brick buildings clustered around the depot represent one of Virginia's finest collections of warehouse architecture. And the depot would be right up here.
Yep.
To our right. There's a train track over there.
There's the depot.
Yeah, and
you can just
I
barely
believe it's a restaurant now.
Yeah. Wow. It's just an absolutely gorgeous part of town. And I think you can see the painted sign.
Oh yeah. Seed, Swift, fertilizer, hardware. Gorgeous.
And there is the train depot. There it is.
That's the depot.
That's the depot.
Now, number 6. That was built around 1905. The sweeping curve of the concourse provides an impressive approach for rail travelers. A cast iron footbridge links Sears Hill to downtown. The bridge, rehabilitation completed in 2013, offers a very fine view of the city. Let's go up there and take a
Yeah,
look.
we have to. Here. It's now the Staunton Amtrak station.
So we're walking up the steps to the bridge, and it goes across the train tracks. You get a view of the city with spires that go across. I mean, look, Lady Liberty over there, or Scales of Justice over there. Just gorgeous. Hi. You can see an advertising over there on the side of that building. And more steps. And the tracks go around the corner over here. Down that way. What an amazing view. I mean, you have a fabulous view of the town from here. The spires. Oh, gorgeous. That's amazing. And this is what I like about the hills and the mountains, is you can get a really good view of things. You stand in the right spot. It's just amazing what you can see. That Paris Hall back there. Wow, I am tempted to go up here and stand.
It's a park.
I know it is. But a little bit higher up.
And the Sears house is up here somewhere.
And we can take a look out across the city from a little higher vantage point. I mean, it's amazing what you can see. Look at these old train cars down there. Just amazing. An old red wagon. Check that out.
It's a luggage wagon.
Yeah, luggage wagon. They carry luggage down from...
That's not a church. That original spire that you were looking at,
oh, yeah.
It's not a church.
I'm not sure what that is. That's a beautiful building, though.
But I'm going up here because I can.
So...
Here you go, number 11. It's Masonic Temple.
Masonic Temple.
That's
wow.
why I caught our view.
Wow. The Masonic temples always capture our attention. For some reason, the architecture of the Masonic temples are often so intricate.
St. Francis Catholic Church is the one that we had to stop so I could take a picture of up there.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, that spire. We're going to go back and get a really good view of the face of that church. It is incredible. But the Masonic Temple was built in 1896.
The county courthouse, Augusta County Courthouse, is right there with
the
Lady
Scales of
Justice on top.
Justice. Yeah. It is amazing how much you can see and what you can make out. Number 16 is the Stonewall Jackson Hotel, and right...
It's the white building far off over here.
Yeah. Not the one with the bell tower, but the one next to it.
Right.
And then a little bit closer to us, to the left of that bell tower, is the First Presbyterian Church, built in 1872.
And this red brick right here...
Oh, it's going to rain on us.
...is the American Hotel. Yeah, we got 3 umbrellas, but they're all in the car.
It's all right.
Number 4.
What an amazing view.
Yeah.
So, Staunton has 5 historic districts. So there's the Beverly Historic District, which I believe we walked through, but we didn't stop in. And then there's the Newtown District, where we started this tour, and that's where the Episcopal Church is. Then the Wharf Area Historic District, which is right down there. We just walked through it, and we're going to continue walking through it until we get back The Beverly. Okay, so we have not been in the Beverly because here's the Beverly right
We
there,
skirted
just
it.
above
We skirted
Wharf.
it.
Yeah, we may have skirted
We
it
were
on the
right
way
here.
down here. We walked
Yeah.
down through that way. Then the Gospel Hill, which is over there, and that's probably mostly residential.
Yeah,
it
it
looks
is.
like.
And we're not
and
going
then
to get there.
Stewart Addition
It's up here.
is up there. That's where that Catholic church is, I believe, and that Stewart
I
Hill.
think it's right here.
And that Stewart Addition.
I think it's
yeah,
right
it
here.
could be right there. But it's up in that area somewhere. We parked right in that area.
We're parked right here.
Yeah, we're parked right there.
So that church is right there.
So we walked through Beverly, the Beverly Historic District, over to Newtown
Yeah.
to start our tour.
Mhm.
And
We walked on the street right here to start our tour. Okay? Oh, it's right here.
Right. Now, the one cool thing I liked about the Beverly Historic
Yeah, see, here
District.
is the parish house.
Right.
And there's the
That's
church.
right on the edge of Newtown. Now, one thing I liked about the Beverly Historic District is they've got a couple of the streets blocked off
This one,
from driving.
yeah, this one, Beverly is completely blocked off.
Yeah, and
It's a walking street
it's
only.
a walking street only. All right, so we just walked under the canopy top here where the train station is. There's the baggage room, built around 1902. And it's now a beauty salon. Here is the luggage wagon that we saw from above. Really cool things that you see. There's the train station from this angle where the train tracks are. It is now called Appalachian Piecework. I believe it is. Okay, it's a hand weaving and spinning antique shop. They do spinning, basketry, antiques, quilts, things like that. And then your train cars, the old train cars. Amazing stuff. So we are standing in the concourse here. This is where passengers would wait for the train and then board upon the train's arrival. There's the bridge that we were just walking across. We were right up there a moment ago, looking out across the city. This structure here is the American Hotel, built in 1855. It was built by the railroad company in the 1850s and was the last word in luxury. The Stonewall Brigade Band serenaded President and Mrs. Ulysses S. Grant from this site in 1874 when their train passed through. This building is the pride of Victorian builders. Took even in utilitarian structures is evident in this warehouse. Originally, the wholesale grocery house of Hodge and Hutchinson, it was completely renovated in 1982, built around 1880. So the Augusta County Courthouse was built in 1901, and it was designed by T.J. Collins. It's the 5th courthouse to occupy the site. In 1745, a crude log structure built here served as the first county courthouse.
It looks like they rebuilt in 1835.
Yep, and then 1900. Probably,
Wow.
that was the last, so they rebuilt, it's been built 5 different times, so 1745 was the first, then there was an 1865 version, and then a 1900, and this is the one that is standing now.
Those columns in the front are actually brick. They're not solid. That is some masonry right there.
Yeah, that's nice.
And you can see the painted sign on the side of that building.
Alright, so Barrister's Row was built prior to 1870 and were primarily used as law offices, but also housed cobblers, barbers, saloons, and restaurants, enterprises that benefited from being close to the courthouse. Beautiful building is the Marquis Building. You can see up there, it says Marquis Building, 1896, 1895, I believe.
It says 1896.
It says 1896. The walking tour map says 95, but anyways, the Marquis Building, and it housed the offices of architect T.J. Collins. Built in the Romanesque Revival style, features an unusual corner entrance, supported by stone columns with carved capitals.
Yeah.
Just look at that entrance.
It's absolutely gorgeous. And that black line you see right there, that is an umbrella.
And I love the balustrades over there. Those are nice. National Valley Bank was chartered in 1865. It's Staunton's oldest banking institution and is a very fine example of Beaux Art style. The interior features a magnificent oval stained glass skylight, and you get the added benefit today of a couple of street musicians there in front of the building. This is a gorgeous part of town here. We are in the Beverly Historic District, and this is Beverly Street right in front of us. It's walking only all the way down for about 4 blocks.
Okay.
And you can see all the restaurants. Can you see the restaurants all with their tents and canopies all set up with the tables out front? This is a gorgeous, gorgeous neighborhood.
Okay.
So the Masonic Temple, built in 1896, has dominated the Staunton skyline since completion. Chicago architect I.E.A. Rose designed this mixed classical and medieval building, and the Masonic Order was chartered here in 1786. It's one of the most beautiful buildings in town.
It has stained glass windows on the next to top level.
Yeah.
Where the balustrade is. There's stained glass windows up there.
And the tower up here is what we saw from a distance.
We saw it.
That's the one I thought was a church at first.
Yep.
That's all I could see. But then when we realized that it was the Masonic Temple, we just had to come and take a look.
Yeah. And the Hodge building, you want to read about that one right quick?
Okay, so this is the Gooch and Hodge building, built in 1880 by 2 prominent Staunton families. The Italianate building boasts fine cornice detailing, such as the lion's heads and the cornice brackets. And you can see those very clearly.
What about your clock tower? It's right there.
Yep, I got to find it here on my description. The clock tower marks the center of town. Originally the YMCA, that building contained an auditorium, bowling alley, gym, running track, and library. And you can see the tower's fine brickwork.
Yeah. Okay. Now.
So we're in this section of downtown called Stewart Addition, and this is the original YMCA building here, built in 1914. Cyrus McCormick's estate donated $50,000 to help build this building in the Renaissance Revival style. Now, farmers will know Cyrus McCormick as the inventor of the harvesting machine.
Yep, yep.
And originally this was Staunton's YMCA, but it's been converted into condominiums.
Gorgeous.
I love the steps leading up to this building. It was built before 1870, and it's been very important to the Catholic community here in Staunton. It was built as St. Francis Academy and was converted to a convent in 1880. it continues to serve the church today. And right next door, this is the most beautiful building in town. It is St. Francis.
In our opinion.
St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church, built in 1895, built in the Gothic Revival Church style, and it was designed by T.J. Collins. It replaced the original 1851 Catholic Church. Its walls are composed of stone from Pennsylvania, India, and Virginia, and that is one imposing structure. I mean, you see, you look at this, and the Catholic Church has always been good at this, building church buildings that just make you...
That kind of scares me a little bit.
You just feel in awe of the presence of the building itself.
Yep. And I don't know what this building is, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And what struck me is the fact that it's built on a pretty significant hill. And so the door stoops are built into the sidewalk, into the ground, to make them level.
It really is nice. I like the vines on the side of the building. That is awesome.
I mean, those vines ain't good for that building, but that is
it sure look nice.
A pretty nice. It looks like it's condos now.
Give me a break here, Holmes.
Alright, if I don't do this right, then I'm going to be on the bad side of my wife. So y'all bear with me and pray for me. But while you're doing that, don't forget, share us with your friends. Like us if you like us if you don't. Subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. God bless.